There are 3 questions that we consistently get from people moving to Portland, Oregon, and we're going to answer all 3 of those. So stay tuned. What's up, everybody? This is Jackson Ray Wilkey.
And Jesse Ray Dow.
And we are the Real Agent Now group right here in the Portland Metro. If this is your first time to this channel and you want to learn everything about working, eating, sleeping, playing, and learn the top 3 questions, then start now by subscribing to this channel and tap that little bell so you're notified every time we do a new video and when we go live. And honestly, we are getting so many phone calls, emails, and text messages every day. We absolutely love it. We're helping so many people. And if you're even thinking of moving or relocating here to the Portland Metro, make sure you give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email, or even send us the pigeon carrier. However you want to get a hold of us, we got your back when moving to the Portland Metro. All right, so we honestly get so many phone calls, and we're loving it. We're going live on Sundays at 9 a.m., and we are going live on Wednesdays at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, so bring your questions. But we continue to get these top 3 questions each and every time, and we want to answer those for you. We're going to do a little role playing here. I'm going to be the person moving, and Jesse's, well, he's going to do what Jesse does. You know, and stay tuned to the end. The last question is probably when we get by the most people, so you want to catch that one at the end. But first and foremost, ring, ring.
Hey, what's going on? This is Jesse with the Real Agent Now group. How can I help you?
Hey, I am moving there. I've got an awesome job lined up, or, you know, I've got my job lined up. Do I have to work there for a couple months in order to buy a house? Like, I really want to buy a house.
Jackson, that is a fantastic question. Thank you for reaching out. You know, most people, when they reach out to us, they definitely think that they need to work in a current employer for so long before they can actually purchase a home. You know, when you're buying a home, they typically ask for 2 years of job experience or job history to be able to get you into a traditional loan. But the great thing that we have, as long as you have a comp structure / offer letter from your employer that you're going to be working for here, we can actually start the process of getting you into a home. As long as you have one pay stub within 2 months of closing that loan, we can actually get you into a house in a seamless transition.
Yeah. I'm going to step out of the role of being the buyer real quick, and we're doing this currently. Addison, our lender, is very good at this process. So, yeah, you can just basically show that you have proof of employment, and he can work off of that letter. So it's an amazing program, and you need to reach out to us so that we can get the balls rolling on that.
Yeah, and let me tell you something. This isn't a common thing for any banks, and the reason why it's important to work with us is because Addison's company, Willamette Valley Bank, actually does all their own underwriting, and they're a private bank, so he can actually go right to those underwriters and say, hey, look, this guy, here's his comp structure right here. Here's A to Z, exactly how much he's going to get paid, how much he's going to make, full job offer, and basically it's a promissory note saying that he is going to get a paycheck and that they are going to deliver that pay stub within the next 8 weeks. The crazy thing that I actually seen happen is we've seen people that were actually getting less than what they should be getting. So they were actually able to go back and renegotiate their terms. So we actually were able to get them a little bit more money, which was super cool. But a lot of banks, they actually won't even talk to you until you have a W-2 or a pay stub from your current employer. So I've actually had that happen with a client that was moving here. They wanted to use the lender they were working with, but when they got here, they actually we couldn't even put an offer on their house because the lender said he couldn't close in the time frame because she hadn't gotten a paycheck stub yet. So we actually had to wait a few more weeks, and guess what happened then?
What happened?
All the houses were gone.
They were all gone.
And now in her range, and now we can't even find a house. So it was a really, really bad situation, all to try to it wasn't even, they were only going to save like an eighth of a point, and which over the course of 30 years wouldn't have made any very minimal difference. And now she's stuck at renting. I knew that what she was looking for was right in front of our eyes, but she wanted to go a different route, which I totally understand. People want to work with their people, but it's really prohibiting something that could have happened. And that's why we work with such an amazing lender to make sure that we put you in the best successful position to get that home.
All right. So the number 2 question that we literally get all the time is that people are moving here and they're not quite sure if it's the perfect location. So Jesse, hey, I'm moving there. I don't know if I want to live in this spot forever. So is there short-term rentals? Can I rent somewhere for a couple months? I don't want to sign a 1-year lease.
I totally get that, man. And it's a very common situation that we have here. And we've partnered with a fantastic short-term property management company called iTrip that you can work through them, or you can just go directly onto Airbnb or
Hmm.
VRBO and find a short-term rental, which I highly advise anyways, because when you're moving out here, you don't want to just you don't want to move into a long-term rental if that's not your situation that you're wanting to go towards. Move all your stuff in, and end up having to move again. So I definitely advise looking at a short-term rental. Call them up directly, the seller or the owner, and negotiate a little bit of a long-term short-term lease. I know it's an oxymoron,
Yep.
but you can get a 4 to 12 week lease on a short-term property, no problem. You just have to directly contact them, but that's definitely a very viable option that we definitely see a lot here.
Yeah, and so by renting in a certain area, you're going to feel that lifestyle, and we highly recommend it. Even if you're coming up for your tour, try and get a VRBO or an Airbnb in the neighborhood that you really think that you like, and you can feel that out.
Even if somebody did get into a long term and they were like, it cost them, a month and a half of rent to break that lease, and they found a house they wanted to buy, we could probably work into getting some closing costs negotiated into that offer when we found the house they wanted to buy. Because I mean, say it's $1,500 a month rent, and it's a month and a half of rent to break the lease. That's what, $2,225.
Hmm.
Typically, if we're putting an offer on a house and that's the straw that's going to break the camel's back, we can usually get that negotiated in, but I wouldn't count on that. I would definitely just look at the short term if you have to, but if you end up going the long term route, let you know that that is an option out there.
Boom, baby, love it. And the last thing, we get a lot of questions. People are leaving their beautiful home in the state that they're at. And if, let's say, well, I'll role play it. Hey, Jesse, I've got my house here to sell, but I need the funds from my house that I'm selling in order to close there. Can you guys do a same day close? Like, what's the process on that?
Yeah, absolutely. We can do a same day close. So what we do is, we get your house, we get you to a trusted local real estate agent. If you don't have one, we have great channel partners all around the United States that we work very closely with, that we've gone through this process with multiple times. These are hand-selected agents that we've actually interviewed, so we know that they know how to work through the relocation process. If you're already working with an agent that you've already selected, that's fantastic. That's perfectly fine with us. All we ask for is expert and high level communication through the whole process, because what we're going to need to have happen is we're going to need to set up the title company that we're closing with here with the title company you're closing with in your home state. So therefore, when we do that same day close, everyone's on the lookout for those funds, because the day that your deal closes for the home you're selling, the funds are transferred into an escrow account, and then the title has to go out and be recorded at county. Once the county records title, they can release those funds to the escrow company here.
Yeah.
As if the escrow officer here isn't on the watch out for those, it could just sit there forever. So therefore, they have to go into the system and manually grab them and put them to your deal to be funded and recorded at title as well. Then the house is yours. So I'm actually in constant communication 2 to 4 times a day with everybody involved, making sure that your transition is actually closing and that you can move into your house. So we've had it before with agents that the buyers used in the state that they're coming from. Like I said, it's perfectly cool, but their communication is at a zero. So actually, I don't even know what's going on. I'm reaching out, texting, calling. Sometimes I find out the day of that it's not even their deal, is there's an issue. But the thing is that's going to affect us on the end over here. So, we definitely got
Yeah.
to keep those lines of communication flowing, so that way you can actually move into your house here. Because I'll tell you right now, no seller is going to let you move into the house until we're closed. So say you move here and you're delayed 3 days at your hometown, but you're in Portland, you have nowhere to go. Guess what? You're probably gonna have to get a hotel room, because there's a huge risk for a seller to let you move into your house. They might not even think your house is going to close where you're coming from.
Hmm.
So there's a giant risk involved with that, and we have definitely learned how to mitigate all these systems and make sure that your transition is completely flawless. And we just absolutely love helping people out. And you can go to our last 5, 6 Zillow reviews, and all of them are people that relocated and had to sell. And I think 5 out of the 6 used the agent that we referred, and they were amazing. They got amazing reviews. They praised us up and down of how great the transition was. So
Yes, so it is a huge move. There's a lot of moving parts. Jesse explains that in about 5 minutes, but it's a 30-day process that we manage for you. But that is what we do. There's the number down below. You've got to give us a call. You got to shoot us a text, send us an email. Day, nights, weekends, we just don't ever stop working. So when you reach out, we got your back when moving to Portland, Oregon. And if this is your first time to this channel, you want to learn everything about working, eating, sleeping, living, playing right here, make sure you tap that subscribe button over there and click the little bell so you're notified every time we do a new video. And until that next video, we'll catch you later.
Catch you later.